903 FM. Also on Insta, ESTANWAZ. ESTANWAZ on Instagram. We're actually live there, so you can join any part of the virtual to be part of the conversation this afternoon. On matters will discuss issues across Nigeria's socio-economic landscape, and today is quite sensitive. It's concerning a conversation that has supposedly heated the polity, and we want to actually hear the voices of Nigerians. I'm going to be speaking with one very prominent voice from this region who will give us their own plight and explain to us the reasons why they are actually opposing the establishment of this peculiar court, considering the fact that we have a lot of persons practicing this religion. I'm talking about the Sharia court establishment in the Southwest. It's a very sensitive conversation, but it's a conversation we want to have, and it's an opportunity for you, if you actually practice the religion, to let us know what you think concerning the disquiet that has emanated from it. For example, we know that Yoruba youth are opposing the Sultan's support for Sharia in Southwest. The Yoruba youth, both in Nigeria and in diaspora, they have issued a strong warning to the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, against pushing for the establishment of Sharia courts in Southwest states. In a joint statement signed by Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa, Yoruba National Youth Leader in diaspora, Comrade Oyegunle Oluwa Mayowa Omotoyole, a home-based leader, they all expressed concerns over what they described as an attempt by the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs to impose Sharia law in the Southwest, warning that it could destabilize the region. They described the move as part of a broader agenda to enslave and conquer the Yoruba people. The youth leaders are urging traditional rulers and governors in the region to resist the proposal, cautioning them against being deceived into supporting it. And then we also know the situation concerning this is the fact that there has also been disquiet. We know that the Southwest, there are those who practice Islam, and we also have those who actually come from the family or may not be currently practicing Islam. But you also have a disquiet or a discontent between those who are from the Southwest, who also practice the religion, and those who do not practice it. You now have those who are supporting the establishment of these courts in the Southwest, and they are also, Muslims. And then you have those who are not supporting it despite the fact that they are also Muslims. Now, here is the thing. The controversy erupted because the establishment of Sharia panel in the North has not brought any form of development, both in their religion and both in their economy, even in their lifestyle. Neither has it kind of promoted any morality in that region. Basically, they use the terrorism situation in the North there based on the fact that they have Sharia laws, but then they have extremists there who are imposing their religion on the other people or the religious practice or practitioners who reside there. And they're saying that the Muslim leaders are emphasizing their right to self-determination, and the Muslim groups are expressing apprehension about the potential implication of the Sharia court panels being established in the Southwest region. Now, the distinction between Sharia courts and its panels is at actually the heart of the controversy. Muslim leaders maintain that Sharia panels are not courts, but a Mobolaja area or your state. But from the Muslim leaders expected they expected that the ceremony included the Bashorun of Oyo Land, High Chief Yusuf Akiade Olanka, and the Aare Musulimu of Oyo Land, Alhaji Chief Tajuddin Abdul Hamid Kamarishe, amongst others. The suspension, however, did not stop some individuals under the aegis of Yoruba Council Worldwide from threatening to institute legal action against the promoters of the Oyo Sharia panel if they do not completely abandon the plan. So a group, Muslims Rights Concern Murik, they joined the fray when it dared the Yoruba Council Worldwide to do its worst, saying the Sharia panel being planned in Oyo was different from Sharia court. For emphasis, Murik said critics of the Sharia panel were ignorant as the development was not new in the Southwest, as it has operated for years in many parts of the region. So on the contrary to the panel as being disclosed by Murik is a panel or a group that is set up to do certain rites for those who practice Islam, which has generated quite the concern. And today, I actually have somebody who is in the right state to discuss this with us this afternoon. Help us properly put in context as to why that disquiet is really on the rise now. Why is it causing the row? Is it going to create a polarization amongst the Southwesterners, specifically the Yoruba speaking region? You have a large presence of those who practice Islam in the Southwest. There are some of them who actually want the establishment of, the Sharia panel or the Sharia court. And there are some who, even if they practice Islam, do not want it because they feel that that particular religion is not flexible enough to accept certain things. Like I said, it's a very very sensitive conversation. So today I'm going to be joined via the telephone with Aare Hassan. Aare Hassan is one of the top members of the Yoruba Council worldwide, and he'll be speaking to us as to what has been done so far about this conversation. What is the next line of action? Will this cause any polarization in the region? What exactly is the modus operandi for it? And how will this court help to resolve issues in the various Southwest communities that they want it to be established? And what does the Constitution say, though, about freedom of practice of religion across, the 36 states of the Federation? So these are the conversations. This conversation is what we'll be talking about today. Then, obviously, we will delve into the opposition political parties, where there are issues already going on there. We saw the drama in the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party too, precisely what Peter Obi recently disclosed to Al Rufai as to what is transpiring within the Labour Party, and the statement he currently made, which a couple of critics feel that he shouldn't have made. So I'm going to establish contact with Aare Hassan. He's in the best position to give us proper details of what this means, what this portends. Like I told you, we're currently streaming live on YouTube. I would implore you to join us on at VOP903FM. Now, you can also join me on Insta, ESTANWAZ, ESTANWAZ. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining me on Matters today. How are you?
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be on your program.
Yes, thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate you joining me today. The conversation we're having on Matters is a very sensitive one, but it's important for us to bring it to the fore because, it's generated quite the conversation on X, and we don't want it to escalate or degenerate to a point where it will seem like, some regions in the country are becoming religiously intolerant, or the Constitution applies in certain areas but does not apply in certain areas. I just saw your press release, what you sent to me, because you're in the right position to help us explain what exactly is going on and why this situation is causing the disquiet, all right, amongst the Southwesterners. I saw your letter where you wrote that the Yoruba Council opposes the planned Sharia court or Sharia panel establishment in the Southwest. Can you give me a reason why that is so, when we know that there are those who practice Islam in the Southwest? And why is the fear that it could possibly cause a situation where there'll be room for terrorism to become rampant in the Southwest?
Well, it is very important we have to acknowledge that all Nigerians have fundamental right to freedom of religion and association.
Yes.
And the Yoruba Council worldwide is not against anyone's religion or practice of religion, however it may be. We need to equally understand the nitty-gritty and the history that battered us as a country, and especially the history of the Yoruba people and the invasion of the Oyo Empire by the Fulanis and the Mandan Fujus, and everything that led to their stoppage in Ilorin and their further incursion into Oyo State was stopped. All these things was a ravaged war. It didn't go without a shed of blood. And to many, and considering the hype of the Islamization agenda, it creates a lot of fears when you look at the incursion since when Buhari was there and the previous years of the Ruga and so many other agendas of land ownership, of land invasion, and granting access to people's territory, which was an issue that was condemned even by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, raised it fundamentally that Nigeria is not a kind of state you can introduce Islamization. There is difference between Islamic practice of Muslim and Islamization. Islamization is extreme, and to us, the Sharia court is different from Islamic practice. Sharia court, by virtue of the constitution, is only applicable to 12 northern states of Nigeria. Come to a community of the Yoruba people that is more traditional. We have a lot of African religious practice. We marinate in the southwestern region in Yoruba land, meaning we go to parties, we drink, we do a lot of things. This practice of Sharia will begin to instigate crises. We begin to put our people under fear of invasion. We give unnecessary blueprints and stamp to the practice of Sharia. Sharia is exclusive to the Northerners. This is a Northern practice of their own system, and it is majorly within the crime of this area because they believe in solely that, yes, they don't even accommodate any other religion like Christianity in those areas. So there is an exclusive preserve of Sharia law practice, which is not even in tandem with our constitution. The practice that is ongoing now is fronted by an organization called Islamic Council, the Sharia Council of Nigeria, the Islamic Sharia Council of Nigeria. Yes.
Okay.
And some other religion, Islamic Council that are equally promoting this. The government have not in any way, because there was a proposal at the National Assembly to give to give Sharia law a national opening. And it was countered at the floor of the House. We all saw it when that agenda was raised by one of the senators on the floor of the House, which was countered. And there have never been a resolution for such practice. So if anything is now going on in Ekiti State, in Ogun State, the Oyo State inauguration was condemned even by the governor of Oyo State, meaning there are legitimate grounds. But for whatever inordinate agenda of some persons to hold us to a jugular and bring about this practice, it is a call for anarchy because there is no room for such in our civil law practice in the southern region. We have different practice in the country today.
Aare, can you hold on? Aare, please hold on. According to Murik, right, the Muslim rights concern, they actually saying that there's a difference between establishing Sharia court and Sharia panel. According to them, they feel that anybody can set up a committee, anybody can set up a panel, right? And the panel looks into certain issues. It's not a deliberate attempt to destabilize anybody's cultural practice or dominate anybody.
No, let me tell you one thing.
I'm coming. I just want to clarify something so we have a better concept of it.
Yes, I understand Murik. We understand Murik's position.
Murik is saying that they're just crying wolf where there is none because they explained all of this and they want to correct the impression.
No, my sister, maybe you have not witnessed a system whereby hands are being cut off. A Sharia panel is. Do you saw the invitation? It is just a deceitful stand.
Okay.
To deceive us and call us. Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Some organization are promoting the inauguration of Sharia court in Oyo State.
All right. Can you mention these organizations?
Hello?
Can you mention these organizations that are actually calling for the establishment of Sharia courts or Sharia panel in the Southwest?
Yes, already. This is the name of the organization that are calling for it. And you have seen it in our first statement that I just forwarded to you.
Okay.
The name of the organization, yes, the name of the organization is the as we call the organization, that is the let me see the name clearly so that I don't make it.
Okay.
Because they have the basic, yes. It is called the because we addressed a letter to their president,
okay,
Sheikh Abdul Rashid Adeyutula, the president of Supreme Council of Sharia in Nigeria, SESN, in which was led by another Malam Nafiu, Baba Ahmed, MNI, that is the Secretary General, and their office is situated at 6 West College Road, off Guana Road, Kaduna State. This is an organization that has its headquarters in Kaduna State. So they don't even have a corresponding base here. They are just trying to bring this into the land. And it's just a litmus of test. If this succeeds now, the area you are bringing Sharia courts to, that is not an Islamic area, is it in every mosque or is it in every court? How are you going to now begin to make our people be afraid if a Muslim now marries a Christian or a traditional religion person pass through the front of a mosque, they'll stone him to death. We've seen what happened in Adamawa State. A young lady was stoned to death. Until date, nobody was arrested because that is the practice of Sharia. People's hands were being cut off. We've seen in the time past, even during electioneering process, the shares are just too much. So the reason for our countering this position is based for life and fundamental protection of our people. In Yoruba land, it's not only the Yoruba that are habitated in the southwest. We have the Igbo. This is the only rendezvous that everybody finds as a home. The Igbo, the Hausas, everybody.
Yes.
So it would be injurious to bring in a system that is very hard for people to comply with, very hard for you to implement and execute, because you need to have your own police, meaning there will be ISBA, there will be tax force, there will be people that will not be breaking people's counters that are selling beer, parlor. We have clubs, we have a lot of things that negate their own practice. So at the end of the day, when acting around the pressing of people that are at the purviews of the Sharia court, you begin to see crisis. It will lead to death. So what we are saying, let anybody bring it on the table. It does not have a legal base. It's only the president of the country that can say, okay, they have reviewed the constitution to allow the Sharia court, even by principle, the process of protecting the Yoruba people. That is our cultural interest. And globally, people have cultural rights, cultural protection to their values. It is not against those that are Muslims, nations, when you violate such laws. If you are a Muslim, you will be guided around that practice. You will be fused around that practice. It is no longer going to be voluntary.
Yes.
Because if you have your opposing person and you obtain a Sharia judgment against a Christian, how do you solve the problem? If somebody call it a panel, what constitutes a panel is that you must have a base. For you to have a panel, it must have been constituted by the governor of that state.
Oh, all right.
Is the Sharia panel being constituted by the governor? No, these are just...
Okay.
And the organization here, let me clarify.
Okay.
I've sent you the... Yes, I've sent you the
I have seen it.
basis of this organization.
Yes.
The vice president, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Baba Ahmed.
Yes.
In the CAC registration of this organization I've just mentioned, his name was written there. His name was there as a founder of this body, but during the electionary campaign in 2023, he decided to resign. But he founded it, and the so-called vice president of, maybe vice chairman of this organization, from security reports, is from Mauritania. So there are a lot of intrigues that we need to open our eyes as citizens. So we are not seeing this. That's why we are calling on all our obas in Yoruba land, our governors. Let us have a dialogue to resolving this issue. This is not an issue that will begin to throw bow and arrow against ourselves.
Yeah.
This should not breed crisis, religious, ethno-religious crisis, and be promoted as a result of this, because if not carefully handled, the Islamic people in the northern region might see it as an ethnic cleansing agenda to begin to kill. Because if it is not properly interpreted in the media, it could also snowball into an homegrown crisis between the Yorubas and the Hausa people, or the Yoruba and the Islamic people. So let this thing be doused for the purpose of national unity, peace, and progress of Nigeria.
All right. What if it is some Yorubas who practice Islam that are also supporting this particular establishment? They may be quiet now because the majority of the voices are against it, but within them, they actually want. What if they're the ones also propelling this? Because I know the Southwesterners are accommodating. I have seen families where the mother is a Christian and the father is a Muslim, and the children decide whether they want to go to church or whether they want to go to a mosque at the end of the day. And even within them, they also intermarry. You can see a Yoruba marry a Hausa Fulani, and the Yoruba is practicing Islam, and then the Hausa from the Southwest. So if you now have some of these Southwesterners who practice Islam, but they're also propagating that this panel should be established, what then happens to those individuals who actually want this courts or panel to be established in the Southwest? Would it seem like possibly because they want it, then that means nobody is paying attention to them?
You know, this is an heterogeneous society.
Yes.
And it's a very complex topic we are discussing.
Exactly.
As complex as the topic is, if we go deeper into this, I've just given a primary definition of the organization that are promoting it. Do not have such statutory power to project that into the subconsciousness of the people. In as much as some persons are interested in Sharia courts, let them go to the territory and put in their abode in those territories. And live there peacefully. If they can genuinely subject themselves to such practice. I've just given you a scenario. What's the name of that lady in Adamawa that was lynched and stoned to death, but alive? Yes. If you are the parent of that lady, how are you going to be feeling? That lady was killed under the guise of Sharia practice.
Yes.
Sharia practice
for no reason, for blasphemy or whatsoever.
Wait, let me make it clear to you. Sharia practice is a system that has its own philosophy. The day you start bringing it, and this was what the Yoruba fought in the 17th century to stop. This is one of the fears Obasanjo raised on the Islamization. And for records, this organization has been on ground since 2005. This organization was given a blue stamp during the Buhari-led government. They had pictures of them meeting with Buhari in Saudi Arabia and some other places. This is a very extreme agenda. If Murik is promoting this, we have to look at the unity of the nation. That will come to projecting and promoting anarchy.
Okay.
So for my people in Yoruba land, we do not hate the Muslims. We did not fight against the Muslims. In Yoruba land, an average Muslim man can marry 4 wives under the Islamic practice, whereby you name your child under Islamic practice, the Alpha will come, they will sign certificate, and that is what is called Nikai.
All right. All right.
People do all that in order to practice their own, and they live peacefully.
All right.
Nobody brings gun to cut their hand for drinking alcohol, because it is within the practice of our culture here to use alcohol to pray to our gods here. So
All right.
a lot of things will lead to confusion. So let government not all the Southwest governors to be at alert.
All right.
Not to bring anything that will bring anarchy into their various states. They need to put caution on that line.
All right. There is a latest development. The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, as NSCIA, under the leadership of the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, he has called on governors and traditional authorities in the southern part of the country, particularly the southwest, to ensure that the constitutional rights of Muslims in their respective domains are preserved and protected. The resistance trailing efforts of the Muslim communities in Oyo and Ekiti states to establish independent Sharia arbitration panels. So a statement was signed by its Deputy National Legal Advisor, Imam Harun Mohammed Eze. The body said it could not find any legal justification for the resistance and therefore threw its weight behind the move to establish the Sharia panels in the two states. They described the objections from both political and traditional quarters as unwarranted. The NSCIA explained that the arbitration panels are a voluntary platform designed solely for the resolution of civil and marital disputes amongst consenting Muslims, and that the council pains are also to fill the inexplicable vacuum created by the failure of the political elite in the southwestern Nigeria to establish Sharia courts as allowed by the Nigerian constitution in southwestern states, despite the huge population of Muslims in the region. So how would you react to this?
To me, this is a dangerous trend. A highly sensitive matter of national importance. This matter should not be looked with a stigma of this is just an ideology or people's rights or all it out. It's beyond that. Once you begin to profess such religious things, before now, if for the white man religion into Africa, we are all we practice humanity in Africa. And in humanity, there is love in humanity. It's just as in regards of the excesses of mankind, oppression of man by man, that brought us into this level of hatred, of religious animosity. And the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs should be cautious, should not throw caution into the wind. Who are these people setting up this panel? Do they have is it a government set up panel by the Ministry of Justice in those states? If you want to set up a panel, it's just for some African Babalawo now to now say they want to put up a panel in a community whereby people that are living in that community have their own different religion. You think such panel will not have created this huge crisis? Do you think if by the fact that the Yorubas invoke their own cultural practice in our own land, it will affect our neighbors who are not practicing the Ishese that we have here?
Yeah.
So it's beyond that. If they are bringing it as a panel of arbitration, they should be very careful. It's allowed within the territory of 12 northern states by the Constitution. It has not yet been given a veil of national coverage, because if they succeed in Southwest, how will the Igbo people accommodate them over there in Southeast, or the Niger Delta people? If you want to use Yoruba land as most accommodating, because we accommodate everybody, and we are very cautious of the inimical stand of religious crises that we have seen in the past here. Ethnic attack. We don't want anything that will bring about fear. We have seen scenarios whereby northern people are bringing their people in every day within the Southwest, not because we hate them, but we have to be cautious. Recently, there have been an alert in the media that that terrorists are already coming into Southwest.
Yes.
They kill people just
In fact, it was DSS that actually caught them, about 100 of them. Some of them are foreigners.
Is this the right the Sultan is promoting? I want to call on the Oni of Ife, who is the co-chairman, the Sultan. The Sultan do not throw the country into abyss.
All right, but like you said earlier, that this is a very sensitive.
Very
yes.
sensitive matter.
You said it's a very sensitive conversation indeed. But a couple of people are throwing in some political, will I say, political insight into the entire ordeal. For example, they are now saying that is it because somebody from the Southwest is in power, and that's why the Southwesterners do not want to allow the Sharia panels to be established, considering the fact that the president is also a Muslim. Others feel that why is the clamor now? Why are they now persistent for these Sharia panels or Sharia courts to be established now? Others from the Southwest also are asking that it's not today that the Southwest has a huge population of those that practice Islam or who are Muslims, but then they had no issue with the fact that Sharia courts were not established. Where are the complaints coming from about these courts or panels being available to resolve issues that our domestic courts here have not been able to resolve, or traditionally were disputes within families and have not been able to resolve them? So the question is, do you see any political inclination to the recent quest for the establishment of these panels to be established in the Southwest, or the courts to be established in the Southwest?
Yes, I've just given a vivid evidence of the Buhari-led government during his administration. There were a lot of political intrigues to set up, to Islamize. Islamization is different from setting up these old, as in the way they are bringing about the setting up of a panel.
Okay.
To me, it's mischievous. Because the intention in Oyo State is the apex capital of the Yoruba people. For people to wake up in Kaduna State and want to come and cite and inaugurate, I would say, if you have seen the invitation that said Sharia courts, it was explicitly spelled out. It was when we began to condemn it, that was when they came up with the panel issue.
Okay.
And we have raised it. I was trying to say something earlier, that the Oni of Ife should call the Sultan to order. They should see reasons on why some things do not happen. They should begin to guide, because we are in a very hot seat as a country. You think if this country snowball into any exo-religious war, we can easily come out of it?
No way.
We've witnessed war before.
No way.
We don't know in Lagos, is he a Muslim? No. But what if anything happened now? They'll say the Christian. If anything happened now, they'll say the Christian governor. If you go to Osun State now, if you have similar crisis there, wouldn't that be an issue? Or your state governor raised issue that they should stop it. It is a matter of state policy. It's not a matter of an appreciation of people. If it becomes a state policy, let the governors come out through the state houses of assemblies. Governors come out through the state houses of assemblies. If they say, okay, these are the rules. If they say, okay, these are the rules of engagement. These are the laws guiding the panel of engagement. These are the laws guiding the panel. Nobody will say, okay, don't go beyond that law. If you have to do the panel, that must be within the confines of those that consent to it. But it is beyond that. The fact that Sultan is raising it now, it has to send a bigger signal that there are some forces who just want us to have a religious crisis in this country.
All right,
we
Aare.
love ourselves the way we live now. I'm coming.
All right.
We love and unite amongst ourselves. We practice Islam unintimidated here. Unintimidated. When it now becomes an instrument of vengeance, that we will not allow. That will say the government, the Southwestern governors, under the leadership of Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, to consider this heightened tension. Mr. President should take up this matter and resolve it politically.
Okay.
Nobody should put people's life at risk for political interest.
All right,
for peace and harmony of our people, we call on our Christian and Muslim to see themselves as brothers and sisters.
All right,
inclusive of our
Ara,
traditional practitioners as well.
would you also raise your voice for unity concerning the recent bigotry right now in the country, specifically between the Southwesterners and the Southeast, specifically in Lagos? I will say for those who know how to use social media well, or X. How would you react to the recent it's terrible where you see young elite-minded individuals are all to discuss issues of national import, discussing or relating to ethnicity. Oh no, there's the conservatives, there's the Ronus, there is the Igbo voice, at what point did it become this bad? A couple of people feel that yes, it has always been like this, but not as bad as this. The 2023 elections literally polarized the regions, and you see people who used to be friends before, because of the entire ordeal of the conservatives or the Ronus or whatnot, it's become terrible. So how do you call out this? Because like you said, we don't want that kind of tension. The same thing too goes with ethnicity, with ethnipotism, with tribalism and tribalistic statements, where you hear some persons say, we don't like this tribe, they should be exterminated, they should be asked to leave, they're not part of this country, let them go. So if you're preaching one voice, how do you relate to the supposed fracture, all right, between some certain ethnic groups, specifically on social media now? How would you react to it?
We have to, if we are not properly informed, we'll be deformed.
Okay.
And the fact that the way we are wired in this part of the world, especially among ourselves, we have this long hatred, long time hatred. This hatred it's been a generational one.
Ever since the Civil War.
And you look at it from the prism of the coup, from the prism of politics, from the prism of ethno-religious crisis and religions. The whole thing that is happening between the Yorubas and the Igbos is just being unnecessarily amplified.
Okay.
Due to political intrigue. Politics of this is part of the issues. And that is why I've always implored our Igbo brothers and our Yoruba people at the same time, if we do not learn to accommodate ourselves in peace, if we do not learn to see ourselves from the prism of law, and all we see is this man is a Yoruba man, an average Yoruba man, is this, an average Igbo man, hates this person. It is what led to Utsi killing.
Yes.
Of 800,000, all because of ethnic rivalry. I want to implore that there should be a national ethnicity, ethnic nationalities union commission in every region. Because if we do not have all these, and we are leaving everything in the hand of the governor to just be having non-Yoruba essay or non-Yoruba or Yoruba essay, it does not solve our...
Some people believe that this administration supports it when you have some comments or statements written by Bayo Nanuga, or you even have some aides of the governors too. If you go to their social media handles and their comments, what they like, what they pin, what they respond to, are all comments based on bigotry. So when you have government officials, persons working for the inner caucus of this administration, being part of this conversation, how do we now make it seem like the government is not part of this kind of rhetoric flying around?
Wait, do you want me to speak the truth to you this afternoon? Let me tell you the truth.
Okay.
There is no fire without smoke.
Okay.
And for every action, there is a reaction. And I've always raised this. People might not see it from the prison. If you go to social media today, if you look at the kind of mob of the hatred from the Igbos to Yoruba, Yoruba versus Igbo, it does not just start.
I know, but I'm just saying, you were saying something that there needs to be a call for... Okay, go ahead.
I'm coming.
All right.
Yes, I want to call for a commission that will begin to address our ethnic divisions.
Yes.
Not just Igbo Yoruba. There are so many other entrenched hatred that are historical beliefs, that are religiously taken and being practiced by the ethnic biased mind.
But it became very prominent in
biased mind only against the
2023 slash
Igbo.
2024. It
Wait,
became very
I'm coming.
prominent then.
No, I'm coming. Let me talk about that of Bayo Ononuga.
Okay.
It is high time Mr. President cautioned their spokesperson on some of this sensitive matter.
Okay.
Not every essay to the government or people that are there who the importance of some of these issues to understand the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
Some might raise it as a reaction to what they see. It's not like when I play some videos of when Nnamdi Kanu was calling for the destruction of during the NSAC.
Yes.
You all saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
If I begin to play that video for my, maybe when I become like 80 years and I play it to my children that see the videos of Nnamdi Kanu calling for
but do you use the anomaly or the misdemeanor of an individual for an entire tribe?
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
That individual have an army of people that are his followers. Now the entire Igbo nation are calling for his release and amnesty. It shows affinity. It shows their. We do not condemn his release. If the governor sees it, yes, for peace to reign, if they grant him amnesty, it will reduce tension. But it is not that we don't have to condemn those things that he did while he was outside.
But Aare, right now, the conversation is not even on deeply rooted issues. It's on unnecessary conversations where they become ethnic.
All these and many other issues. The issues that equally presented itself more dangerously was the 2023 general election.
Exactly.
It was a most divisive election that threw almost the entire nation into blackout. It only took God's grace. And I only want to talk deeply into that because the more we go into that, everybody will open their cankerworms of hatred, of counter issues of how they treated each other across borderlines. So let's not reopen wounds that are already getting healing process. It is not yet healed because because it's not healed, you need to begin to say things. During that election, I personally summoned a stakeholders meeting of leaders of thought between the Yoruba leaders and the Igbo leaders that are in Lagos State. Go and ask all these or Indigo leaders in Lagos. We met in Ikeja and we had some basic fundamental discussion that we cannot throw ourselves into this turmoil. It's too early for us to blacken and darken our mind and begin to see hatred in our faces. It's not going to harbor good neighborliness. You have the investment in Lagos. Nobody can tell you to pack your investment out. It's your fundamental right. It's your national right because you are a Nigerian. You are not a foreigner. Even a foreigner still has right to build properties and own property here if he did it, if he does it legitimately. So for us, and for the Yoruba Council worldwide, I implore our people, let's douse down tensions. Let the Igbo people douse down tensions. Whatever concerns all of us is issue of national importance. How do we solve the issue of our economic downtrodden that we are going through? We are all downtrodden. We those that are fighting ourselves, we are not fighting because the fuel price have not come to 200. Let's use our energy to challenge the government to reduce fuel. If one of us on social media say we are reducing fuel.
Hello? Oh, wow. We've lost connection with him. I'll try to establish connection with him. It's vital for him to finalize his train of thoughts because I really want us to, I want to get your reaction. I want to open the phone lines now so I can get your reaction on the conversation we've had, his take on the establishment of Sharia law in the Southwest, and also the current bigotry we're experiencing ever since the 2023 election, how the ethnicity in this country became polarized, the very fabric of our cultural practices and where we come from. That used to be one of the connecting factors became really frayed. I'm trying to connect with him, but I don't know what is going on. I can't reach him. Maybe he got a call. So I want us to react to this. I want to hear your thoughts, please. I expect you to be civil in your responses to this issue, like you heard him say, and as we all know, is a very sensitive conversation. For those of you who are also of the note about the fact that the Yoruba Council Worldwide are not in support of the establishment of Sharia panel in the Southwest, and one of the strong reasons they have raised is because they feel that the Islam practicing region, specifically the northern kind of Islam practice, is domineering, inflexible, and it's not something they want to invade their culture in this part of the world. The number to call is 08036929933. I know a lot of us know the 0700 903 903 903 handle, but in case you call the 0700 903 903 903 and it doesn't connect, or you call in, you can't hear me, you try our alternative number, which is 08036929933. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. That's the WhatsApp number, 0817175638. We're currently streaming live on YouTube. On Instagram, it's ESTANWAZ. ESTANWAZ. That is the Instagram handle that we're streaming live in right now. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, hello, good afternoon. What's your name?
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I told you when you call and you can't hear me, just go ahead. Tell me your name, your location, and contribute. You have 60 seconds. And I told you try the alternative number. All right. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
Hello.
All right. Kindly call 08036929933. 08036929933. If you cannot hear me on the other line. Hello. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to Matters. How are you?
Hello?
I can hear you. Please kindly go ahead.
Hello?
All right. You seem not to hear me. Aare is calling back. Aare, good afternoon. Thank you for calling back. Please kindly conclude your thoughts so that we can begin to respond to calls. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? All right. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me place the cord so we can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say is that we need to begin to have community
Hello?
town hall meeting. Are you with me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you.
I can hear you. Please kindly call back.
I can hear you.
I'm
I
trying.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know
yes.
what I'm trying to say is that there should be community town hall union of
Okay.
our people.
All right.
What we need to have this communal bonding,
Okay.
not a communal bonding. Everybody holding their meeting separately. There must
Okay.
be a day.
All right.
Everybody amongst themselves needs to have this conversation, because this conversation, if it is not carefully managed, it will become another generational transplanted hatred between ethnic people. And if it gets to that, we are still managing it. It's still manageable.
Yes.
If it gets to a point whereby when you go to the street, you don't just want to see that face.
Yes.
Because some people, let me tell you, these are the crises some persons will want to amplify and put and give it an inflammable crisis by disguising. Some people can disguise tomorrow.
All right.
As Yoruba people, just to go and hack down Igbo people on the sentiment that, we are not countering Igbo versus Yoruba. It will now become a reaction in Southeast that people will go all out to kill our people. If it gets to that level, the government might not be able to manage it. What the government should do, just as the way they have intra-party and intra-governmental affairs,
There is a need for intra-ethnic commission,
All right.
whereby at local government level, there should be this rigid conversation amongst the people at that level, because if we begin to fail to see the humanity in us, we'll see the other side. So
All right.
government needs to play a lot of role. Religious leaders need to play a lot of role. Community leaders, the urbans, need to play a lot of roles.
All right.
People should not promote anything that will spark hatred. And I want to caution, it is easier to cause a war. It is very difficult to douse down a war.
You're very right. You're very right. Thank you so much, Aare. Thank you. All right. We need to take reactions. Thank you so much for taking your time. Yes, Aare called back to actually conclude his thoughts. Like I said, call the number 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Hello? All right, I told you earlier that when you call, okay, I can hear you when you call. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. This is Esther Machuku, by the way. Today is Esther Machuku that is handling matters. What's your name?
My name is Mike.
Mike, can you speak louder? Your voice sounds very low.
Are you hearing me?
Go ahead, though.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Go ahead. Okay, I don't know what is wrong, but it seems like some of you can't properly hear me. So I don't know if it's a network situation, but just kindly call 080-3692-9933. Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, Esther.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. What's your name, sir, and location, please?
My name is Paul. I'm calling from Ebeda.
All right, Paul. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. You see, the truth needs to be told.
Okay.
And we need to face the reality of what Nigeria is to all of us. You see, like me, my daughter married a Southwestern Yoruba guy.
Okay.
My two uncles married Yoruba. My wife's elder sister, elder sister married to a Yoruba man.
Okay.
Now, I'm from Imo State. Our family is mixed up with the Western indigenous.
All right.
And so, there is, yes, since I was born of my age, I've never had any riotous outbreak in the southeast affecting non-Igbos.
Okay.
I have never had in history, outside the Civil War,
Okay.
I've never had riot break out that Igbos decide to be killing non-Igbos in the southeast.
Okay.
Except there is a religious attack or ethnic attack in the north, which the Igbos will retaliate and maybe probably in nature or get about. But for Igbos to wake up after attacking non-Igbos, it's not in our DNA, it's not in our blood, not in our character. We don't do it. And that is why we confidently go to any place in the world, not only in Nigeria. If you go to Cotonou, go to Cameroon.
All right. Thank you very much. Your 1 minute has been exhausted. Thank you very much. Okay, we need to take more calls.
And they do their business.
All right. Thank you.
So we want to live in Nigeria peacefully, and they should respect us as Igbos.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Aare gave an instance. The instance he gave is this. For example, if this is not curtailed, it could happen whereby Yorubas in the southeast could start, Igbos in the southeast could start attacking Yorubas, or Yorubas in the southwest could start attacking Igbos. And so this needs to be curtailed as soon as possible. That's basically what he was referring to. So he called on traditional leaders, religious leaders, persons of interest to quell this conversation, and cautioned Bayo Onanuga as well. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Please, I'm sorry, call back. It's like you're in a very busy environment. 080-3692-9933. That is the number to call. And you can send a WhatsApp message to 0817-1756-338. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Hello? Hello? All right, we experienced in drop calls. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Hello, good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. This should be calling from Ikeja.
All right, Obi, please go ahead.
You see, the guest has spoken well, but you just want to remind him, Nnamdi Kanu never started. It was Upper of Lagos that started the whole thing when he was saying he was going to throw the Igbos into the lagoon. So
he's referring to the statement he made during the NSAS. He was referring to the comments made during the NSAS.
No. This thing, what Obas said when he was going to throw the Igbos into the lagoon was during the election of this man, Jimmy, what do you call it? Jimmy
Agbaje.
No Igbo man was contesting. Igbo will never hide any dog in the fight. When he said that was when Igbo started getting angry. So now the Kanu was letter. So you have to remind him about that too. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you for calling. We're not trying to go back as to who caused what or who did not cause what. The thing is, we should stop the bigotry. It's terrible. I don't know if all of you are on social media. Go on X. It's bad. I have never ever experienced such terrible bigotry, hatred being spilled out from the bottom. It's bile. I don't know how to describe it to you, but it's bad. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? Good afternoon.
Well, this is Patrick Okoro.
Mr. Patrick Okoro, welcome. What's your location?
Ikorodu.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Please, when next you want to discuss religion issue, you should balance it.
What do you mean by that, please?
You should balance it.
What do you mean? I call the Yoruba Council worldwide. They're the ones complaining. They're the ones that are saying they don't want Sharia court in the Southwest. I call the right person. So what do you mean by you should balance it? Are you a Muslim?
This particular girl did not know anything about
Are you a Muslim, sir? What is your issue? What do you want to respond to, please?
This is what I'm telling you.
Okay, so tell me, what is your contention?
My contention is Muslim is everywhere in this country.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So if you went to my own village, that small village in
where is your village? Okay.
Muslim are there.
Okay.
They're plenty both Yoruba and Hausa.
Okay.
So it's not in. He will be telling us that Oni of Ife should talk to this issue. Oni of Ife doesn't have anything to do to this. The guy is not balancing the issue.
All right. Thank you.
Next time you invite person that know about.
He is he's one of the persons that is actually advocating for the non-establishment of it. He's the president Yoruba Council worldwide. I don't know what other person you expect me to call. And I asked this question you asked as to the fact that what about the Muslims in the Southwest that want the establishment? And they are also raising their concerns. And he's asking the president and other committee members to come into it because they don't want dominance or slavery. So everybody's concerns was being addressed. Please, let's be reasonable when we call in to give our own recommendation without criticizing or asking me why I didn't invite somebody or whatever. That's not the conversation now. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? Welcome to Matters.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Matters, please.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yes, this Mr. Obi. Yeah. I will strictly talk about on this tribal sentiment.
Okay.
We should not forget. We know everything.
Okay.
We should remember 2023.
Yes.
Election.
Mm-hmm.
We know exactly the rule that Bayo Ononuga play. He show us clear. He stop even some of us. He say we are evil. We shouldn't vote. They stop us. They say we shouldn't vote. That we should go and vote in our southeast. We should go to our southeast. They say a lot of things to us. Then block us not to. Bayo Ononuga has a backup. The man has a backup. There are people around in government, prominent politicians of Yoruba that are backing him up. They know what they are doing, but they are there silent.
All right, thank you very much.
I don't know how we will come to table.
All right, thank you.
And this Bayo Ononuga, since he don't want to mature, he's behaving like a child, a newborn baby.
All right, thank you. Your 1 minute has been exhausted. Sorry, we have very limited time. Let me take some messages, okay? I'll still take your calls. Godwin from Lagos says, I'm so impressed by the reactions of the Aare to many of your questions. Thank you very much, Godwin, for your message. I also have this afternoon, Esther. What happened in 2023 elections? You have election rigging empowered by Cash and Carry, INEC and Judiciary. Also, Igbos and some other ethnic groups were intimidated in Lagos, telling them not to vote, all because Obi won Lagos. Remember MC Oluwomo's Iya Chukwudi scenario. Also, Oba of Lagos gave ethics remarks, intimidating remarks, ethnic intimidating remarks on the Igbos. Also, people were not allowed to vote. Some people were not allowed to vote in Lagos using louds, agbaros. Once they see that you want to vote against APC, they lock your gates, harass voters on the polling booth. Journalists too were intimidated. So it's this government in power in Abuja and in Lagos that is creating this ethnic and religious tensions, all because of ill gains. Nigerians have lived cohesively until now. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dio from Fagba. Well, Dio, that was extensively put. Let me take more of your messages. All right. Good afternoon, Esther. Don't forget this is that it is good morning that brought about how are you. This Sharia stuff that they are presenting is not exactly the way it will be. They have ulterior motive behind it. If they succeed in the Southwest, they will extend it over the nation. Then you will see the true agenda behind these laws they're promoting. Thank you, Vincent from Mushi. Okay, thank you very much, Vincent. Esther, I am surprised you're asking. Okay, I hope this is not Ira from Fagba sending another message. Okay, Esther, I'm surprised you're asking Ira of all people about tribalism. Same man who is a stakeholder in such matters of. I'm sorry, I cannot read this message. I beg you, I can't read this message, okay? We're not supposed to promote such things. These northern leaders are trying to create serious chaos in the Southwest. They realize that the West is very peaceful to some extent, so they're actually looking for every means to create serious anarchy and turn the Southwest into a graveyard, as they have done in the North. There is famine in the country. People are fully dying of hunger every day, but they all turned deaf ears to it. But all they could promote at this dead hour is to Islamize the whole country, and it's not going to work. Please practice your Sharia in the North. We don't need it here. KJL, what's your full name, please? Good afternoon, Esther Wachiku. Kudos to your guest on the issue of Sharia. You guys have discussed this afternoon. I would have implored those Southerners agitating for Sharia to pack to the state where it is practiced. We will oppose every move to enslave we Southerners. It will never see the light of the day here in southwest of the country. We don't want it here. Capital N-O. We don't want disunity. We're okay as we live in peace here. Bayo Nanugar is a parasite who is just working for his pay. Some of the times he doesn't speak reasonably. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimu. All right, Mr. Ogumbi, thank you very much. Esther, my dear, please, I want you to stand by in case my girlfriend decides not to marry me. Then I can easily jump ship. Your level of intelligence is top notch. Now, no one can call in and claim that the programs are only for Igbo people. Uchechukwu Emmanuel Chianu from Ejbo. Thank you very much, Uchechukwu Emmanuel. Esther Machiko, greetings to you. Your guest has spoken so well. No bias in his analysis. It's very pertinent now that the leaders of thought in the Southwest should rise up against this ugly situation. Daniel from Oshodi. Good afternoon, Lady Esther. Why the ethnic tension is seemingly on the increase is because it has a little stopped. It could be devastating. They should release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Have a good day. Okosisi from Surulere. I think I have a call. Hello, Esther Machiku. Thanks for keeping me on hold while taking all the calls. I picked. I didn't know. Can you call back? Or should I call you? Okay, let me call you. Is it ringing? Please speak, I beg. I don't know. Hello? Let me see. Good afternoon, Lady Esther. Why the ethnic tension? Thank you very much. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I have picked. Mabinu, I beg, no vex. No vex. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is Zerenadi calling from Spain.
Zerenadi calling from Spain. Zerenadi, please go ahead. I can hear myself back. Okay. Turn your internet or something. Turn it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just on the way. I'm not put on anything on.
I can hear myself. Hello, Esther. Thanks for keeping me. I'm reading.
You don't mean
it? Yes, from your end. My messages. Can you call back? Your internet. You're listening. Yes, I can hear you very good. Go ahead, please.
Hit this and go to the.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Zerenadi. Are you watching? Your YouTube is on. Your YouTube, I can hear you.
No, it's not. It's not on. Yeah.
Please go ahead. Turn it down. I can hear myself at the back end. Turn it down.
Wait. Sorry.
You don't get it. Where are you listening to?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm hearing myself from your end. Yes, from your
end.
Hello. Hello, Zerenadi. Kindly just, you know what you would do? Your internet or your wherever it is you're listening to me from. All right. Okay. So good. Huh? Go ahead. Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you. I can hear you, Zerenadi. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes, it's clear. You've turned it down. Go ahead, please. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Well, Esther, I don't know why the issue of Nand is giving Nigerians sleepless nights. Yes, I want to go. They released a Boko Haram that just killed and kill. Nobody have ever called and said, what is happening? Why are they releasing people that they just get killed? It's only that somebody has made statement. After he just said the mother died and all these things, the guy just was nothing else, just to cry for people to hear his cry. Now they just said it can't beat a child that said don't cry.
Okay.
This guy, the mother died, he lost the father and the mother, and they just bought out. Now they are calling him to, but people they look at today, they released about 200 Boko Haram, but kill a village. Nobody have called and said what is happening to Nigeria. You see, Esther Machuku on
hello.
On yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
On ethnic this thing, I think this guy does everything. That is what APC, this government in power, needs for them to win that election again.
Okay.
Can you imagine
so
that
you're saying
somebody
that,
that just called? No, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're saying that it's sponsored. The bigotry is sponsored.
Yeah. Somebody look at it. That so a whole BC Akonde just came out and this thing. Just
yesterday.
Use this that happened in 2020. That is all this Obi and this obedient. Just to create a pristine. Esther Machuku. Because these people that the old people that with this old this analog brain, without send out of Nigeria, it's politics. This will continue.
Thank you, Zarenadi. I need to take other calls. Your 1 minute is exhausted. Hello, please.
Can you give me an opportunity?
Hello, Zarenadi.
Okay. Let me leave it for another.
Thank you very much. Oh, yes. The last two first callers don't understand the efforts of Aare. His reactions are balanced, most especially Nnamdi Kanu. The man is a peacemaker. He spoke the truth to a considerable extent. Thanks, Godwin from Lagos. When I hear, let me tell you the truth. When we all see the truth glaring, then I don't trust such people. This your guest, Aare. I pity for that country, Nigeria. Let's keep lying to ourselves and pretending it will touch everybody. What's your name? Why didn't you put your name? And what would touch everybody, please? Esther. Okay. Oba's statement against the Igbos was during Ambody's election. All right. Have you called Islamic cleric or any Muslim to balance the issue of Sharia panel? You people keep calling Sharia court, Sharia law. No. It's Sharia panel. It doesn't have any power. Just settle dispute among Muslims. And why are Christians and Igbos so pained about this is for Muslims. This is Lere Adele. Did I call it right, please? Is it Lere or Lere Adele from Idumota? We Muslims want it here in Southwest Capital. Yes. So you see, I asked him, I said, there are some Southwesterners who are Yorubas, they're Southwesterners of Yoruba speaking language who actually want this Sharia panel and court here. What about them? You heard me ask that question, didn't you? All right, we'll also invite a Muslim Ummah who will help us respond to this question. I think by the grace of God, either during the weekend or on Monday, we'll invite and understand the reason why it's coming out. All right. Good afternoon, lady with the sweet voice. See, until the Southeasterner rules this country, the wounds inflicted on the Igbos will not be healed. We operate two penal codes in Nigeria, on religion, one for the North and one for the South. Why are they crossing the lines? Grandma Maggie Odibo from Oshodi. Well done, Grandma. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Esther. That area always focuses on what Nnamdi Kanu said about Tinubu, but refuses to mention all what Oluomo, the Oba of Lagos, and Byron Anuga said about the Igbos. Let us condemn tribalism so that this country will move forward. Tony from Okota. Thank you very much, Tony. Esther, for BC Akonde saying that NSAS was caused by Obedient linked with Obi and that it was used to ruin Tinubu's political career. NSAS was 2020 and caused by police brutality. Obi was not even ready for his presidency ambition. So when you see all these old, low-grade persons that bring lies and hypocrisy to tarnish Obi's image that cannot work again, they want to use ethnic and religious bigotry to divide and rule. You can see them from Byron Anuga, Felix Moka, Daniel Bwala. Birds of the same feather flocks together. Is a shame the worst of us is really the best of us. And this is from Dio from Lagos. Okay, Dio. Beautiful afternoon, my sister. They are practicing it in the north. Of what economical importance is it? Islamization agenda. If by now Khan remains quiet, it's a big shame on them. Truly, there was a country. Sheyi cuts from it. What's in concern Khan? With this, the Christian Association of Nigeria, I don't think they are calling. I don't know. I don't think the Christians have anything to do with this. Good afternoon, Esther. Bigotry today is sponsored to divide the people, especially with the present government. Was it like this during the Buhari's government? What has Sharia done for the North positively that they want it on the South? Evans from Ladipo. All right. If you ask Aare a question about tribalism statements his kinsman make, he'll bring an unnecessary examples to justify hatred against some people. Whenever I hear you say Aare in the world news, I immediately change to another station. During the issue of hijab, did he not support Murik with their notorious stance? Today, all of them are crying about Sharia. Oga Abeg, we're not promoting such sentiments. Oga Abeg, we're not promoting such sentiments. I know, but you can't promote such sentiments, okay? Please. So, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Esther, I'm very, very angry.
Don't be angry, Biko. I beg you. Calm down.
Is very bad.
No, sorry. Sorry, Biko.
You see that when an old man disrespects himself, then what he needs is disrespect. No one respects him. That is what that man deserves. It's my take this afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. I'm sure you're referring to Chief Bisi Akondere, right? I'm sure that's who you're referring to. All right, we've come to the end of Matters. Today is actually 2:59, and we have Funhouse time coming up very soon. For some of you who sent messages, I think I read all the messages that were sent here. This one says, good afternoon, Esther and Aare. Sharia is never and can never work here in the Southwest. The Islamization is gradually coming to the fore. We already have their foot soldiers all in our midst, and if that Sharia law is allowed, we'll smell our anus. Baba Akintoye and co wonders about all this. I'm beginning to actually believe there is an agenda. Now I clearly see what past President Buhari planted coming to the fore. JD Way from Aja. But you heard me read somebody's message here on WhatsApp where the person said, what about the Muslims here who actually want it? There's some Southwesterners who actually want it. You know, I asked Aare that question too. So we'll try to bring in a Muslim cleric who would, because there are some Southwesterners, some Yorubas who want this established in the Southwest. So what happens? Are they quiet because the majority the Southwest? So what happens? Are they quiet because the majority don't want it, but within them they actually want it? So we'll get to hear your thoughts. They should release MNK. All right, thank you very much. I think I've read all the messages. Thank you for all of you who called and sent messages. It's 3 p.m. and I appreciate you calling. I also appreciate Aare for actually coming in today via the telephone and lending us his time to respond to some of the questions, or rather to respond to some of the questions I asked him concerning this very sensitive conversation. We do hope that resolute peace is achieved. Good afternoon, Funhouse time coming up next.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Broadcasting live from the Coco News Center, giving you the latest updates around the globe. This is